Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Simply Market Prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Good morning, Norm. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, buddy. I'm doing great. Hopefully, you are as well. Hopefully, everybody's had a nice long weekend, whether you traded or not on Friday. It was a short day, and it feels like I haven't been doing this for a year now with you, man. It was a long break. It was nice.
Yeah. Actually, it was really nice. I really enjoyed that myself too. And it was my wife's birthday yesterday, so that was a whole lot of fun. Again, just a
Nice.
great weekend. Much needed a break last week as well. So, all right, guys, let's get to it. We have today our list. It's just enormous. I mean, a lot on the
Mm-hmm.
green. So much going on here, and it's interesting to see this pop on all these stocks here. And the SPY overall, I'm not seeing a whole lot happening there, and we'll show you that in a second. And just look at the cues. Is anything happening with technology? I mean, all these stocks are gapping up, but I'm not seeing what's driving all of this. Um, Obviously, it's not going to be individual news on everything on here. That's not going to be the case neither. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what today's going to bring. I mean, it's definitely a lot. We're not going to get through it. We'll probably do the top five on each, and then throw it out to you guys. See what you guys have. And today will be a good day to see if there's anything, any specific catalyst on any of these. Would be a good one to have on watch. But for the most part, it's just insane what we're seeing here. But with that said, let's get
Yep.
to the market pulse first. What do we expect for this week? Back after a holiday starting December tomorrow. What's the latest and greatest?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a huge pop in the markets over the last month. This is obviously the last day of November. Had just tremendous gains over the month, giving a little bit of it back this morning. There's some speculation. Will we get the Santa Claus rally? Is that already kind of maybe we're extended, and that's not going to happen? Who knows? We'll see. I'm not going to.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not even going to throw out what my bias is on that one way or the other.
Hmm.
Um, but as of this morning, we're down just shy of a third of a percent on the SPY. We're up a little bit on the Qs. We talked last week about the rotation, a little bit back into some of those mega cap names and the big tech companies. So still seeing a little bit of that this morning. Like you said, just a ton of stuff up across the board here. There's a few. There are things with specific catalysts. I mean, I'll throw them out right now. The two that I'm going to focus on today, and frankly have already focused on, I could walk away and be happy with what I've already done pre-market. So I might not even trade anymore later. We'll see. I'll just wait for great setups if they happen. But mRNA, they've come out and spoken about their vaccine again, and they're expected to apply for FDA emergency use authorization later this afternoon. So that's popped them up. Well, now what, 13-ish%? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
13.3% this morning. I actually took a short on that earlier on the original drop, and then I took a long as well. So both sides of that, that's a great one to focus on. I will
Hmm.
say, that one can be very tough if you're not an experienced trader. That is it can be a tough stock to trade. It can move against you very fast. The
Yeah,
other one
agreed.
is Nikola, NKLA, back in the news today. A lot of people probably remember, they had signed a deal. GM was going to take a $2 billion stake in this company in turn for some of its battery technology and such. And then out of nowhere came a short report slamming the founder of the company. He then resigned, and it was kind of in question with the GM thing. Well, this is a crazy story. If you look at this chart this morning, um, if you look at the 5 minute on this, Carlos, this thing. So it came out. The GM deal was in question. It came out that there was a note of memorandum on here, and this thing popped like crazy, 10, $13 in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Well, then it came out that the info, so people saw that as a good thing. Oh, the company may not be fraudulent. Well, then it came out that that GM's not taking a stake in them. So then it's dropped, and it's dropped like a rock. And I took a short on this one as well.
Nice,
So
nice.
that's kind of my thing on these days is focus on those things. We've got some other stuff in play. Oil stocks have been on a tear recently. Oxy's up on some ungodly percent over the last month. And yeah, if you switch to a daily, you'll see this thing's just, I mean, from
Yeah.
$8 to 16, 17, or $9 to 17ish. And then there's an OPEC meeting. There's some questions about cuts. If you'll remember back in March, oil futures went negative. It was kind of a crazy, crazy time. So
Yeah. Yeah.
all those things are in play. We've still got the weed stocks, the EV stocks, those fad plays still going on. So that's kind of where we sit and why we got stuff all over the place on this board this morning.
Yeah, definitely, definitely a lot, guys. Definitely a lot. Let's do this. Let's go look at the top five on both sides. We'll look at those, and then we'll hand it over to you guys. Norm kind of gave us what he's looking at right now. mRNA and KLA already taking trace on both of those. So they're definitely on our list. Again, they're very active
And
this
that's
morning.
Jared
Uh,
mentioned another thing
yeah.
that is the case, and I forgot to mention it with all the other garbage I was talking about with NKLA. They've got their lockup period expiring today, which is Jared. It's like, isn't it like 150, 160 million shares become eligible for insiders to sell? I think it's a ton of shares. So that also is some of that pressure there on Nikola as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, guys, again, just two already that are looking really good this morning. But as we mentioned, on both of these, you really got to be careful. You got to have experience, as
Oh
Norm
yeah.
mentioned, because both of these can move very, very aggressively. So just keep that in mind on
I
both of
took
those.
I took two trades on mRNA and
Yeah.
one trade on Nikola this morning. Both were scalps, like less than
Hmm.
a minute in each. Those three trades and I'm done. I mean, that's how
Right.
fast those can move, and they can move equally. They can move against you equally as fast. So you just got to be
Hmm.
super careful on those.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta be very and on these scalps, guys. Again, people when you say scalp, people are, oh wow, they're this the scalping, that's crazy. I would never do that. You gotta match the strategy with the plan. So, for example, I see people that want to scalp, they'll get out right away. But when it goes against them, they're not getting out as fast, and that's when you get into trouble, right? So, if you're gonna do a scalping strategy, it's okay to do so. But as fast as you get out when it's going up, you got to get twice as fast out when it's going against you, right? That's the key there.
Oh
Many
yeah.
people don't do that. They hold on to, oh, it's gonna come back, and next thing you're sitting there three times max loss on a trade that could have just been done with and move on to the next opportunity. So just keep that in mind when we say scalp. You got to get in fast and got to get out faster if it's going against you. All right, guys, let's look at what we have. Top five so far on the gap up list is Mara. Looking at Mara right now, based on what we've seen so far, this does not look great. Their pre-market action is pretty crappy right now. They do got the volume. They are up nicely over here, 800, almost 900,000 shares traded, up 16.8. But if you look at this pre-market, it's just not looking great. So with that said, I think we're going to find something that looks a lot better this morning. We'll skip on that one. APXT just popped up here as well. Also, not looking too exciting here. Their pre-market a little bit better than the one we just saw, and Mara. But for the most part, this is not great neither. Their daily's a little bit off as well. They're up 16% with 1.4 million shares traded. But again, I think today we can find stuff that looks better. mRNA we have already. That's on deck. GTHX. This one also not looking great. So again, you're gonna have some of these stocks that are just not great at all. Their daily doesn't look clean here. You're not getting a whole lot of volume neither. Look down here. Look how low the volume is, 1.2 million for the most part. This is why you have this nasty daily. What we mean by that, look at the bodies of the candles here. They're not wide enough. You get more wicks than anything. And if you dive into the intraday, you're going to see what we showed last week, where things are just not going to be trending well as far as the intraday action, and that's not good for us.
That's that's ugly on the 5 minute. It's horrific looking on the 1 minute.
Oh, I can only imagine. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, look at this in the 1 minute. So again, you don't want to be trading anything like this. Yes, numbers look good, up 12% almost. Got okay volume, 103,000, but not great. GMHI, another one. Again, you're gonna have a lot of these. Another one here that's not looking great. Horrible pre-market action, even with 520,000 shares traded. You're up 11.4. Same situation. You're not getting a lot of volume down here neither. And this is why you're getting this nasty daily for the most part. So skip on that one. Riot, again, we have a big list, but now that we're kind of going through it, a lot of it here doesn't look great. Riot is another one that is not it's not a great stock to trade. So I would avoid this one here. GME is one that does not move much, but today they're up 8.8. So it might be worth taking a look at GameStop today. It's a nice big pop up this morning. Their daily seems to be trying to recover over the last couple of days, so might be worth taking a look at this one. But this stock doesn't move much, but I do like their volume today. Let's keep an eye on it. Their pre-market is not looking great, but let's see if
Keep
that
keep
changes.
keep in mind it's got a massive short float at 138%.
Mm.
So
Yeah, that could be interesting. I mean, is 138% even possible? Um,
yeah, yes and no.
yeah.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Just say it's extremely high.
Yeah, it's definitely extremely high. So that could be interesting if this thing decides to run up. It can cause a nice volatility move towards the upside. So we'll have to see. VXRT, not a great pre-market action. We'll skip on this one. We'll do a few more since we're getting through this pretty fast. There's not a whole lot looking great. Info's not looking great neither. Look at the way this pre-market is. Their daily
Buyout.
is garbage. Buyout, yeah, it's not good. LCA, not good neither. So again, the list is huge, but it's a lot of stuff here that you can dismiss pretty quickly. Fuel cell looks interesting. I do like this daily. Pre-market could be a little bit better. It does have great volume, but this daily activity does look great, though, what we're seeing here. And we'll get into it a little bit later in more detail, but just for the sake of time, let's look at ACB. Some of the past stock, as Norm mentioned, are trading very well. ACB has great volume, 4.9, up 6%, 6.4. This is good. ACB is nice. Let's put that in there. PSTH, no good. Not a great pre-market action. Low volume for the most part on the daily. TLRY is another POS stock. You can watch this one as well, but I think ACB, CGC, let's take a look at that. This one is okay. Pre-market could be better. Their daily's cleaner than a TLRY for sure. And what's the other one? Chronos, CRON. So. ACB's definitely got the most volume right now. It's got the cleanest pre-market action. It's got a decent daily. I think this one you can watch, and you could throw out CGC because CGC tends to trade when it's in play. Tends to trade a lot cleaner than most of these. So it always has been the one that trades the cleanest. In my opinion, again, that's not a fact. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this one. If it gets better, you can definitely take a look at that. All right, I think we looked at some good ones. Gonna go down see if we have anything that we might be interested in. We have Plug down here, which has been pretty good to us. Their daily looks interesting, kind of consolidating here. I'm going to add this one because, again, as we mentioned before, the breakouts on Plug have been pretty nice and pretty clean. SFSR is one that we've been watching as well. Their daily also looks interesting. You got a nice pop up last week and a consolidation happening now. Pre-market's not great though, so I'm going to skip on down for now. Zoom is on here. What is Zoom up to this last couple of days? Breaking out nicely. Pre-market. This is a great pre-market action for Zoom. You're not going to get very clean pre-market action, but again, as we mentioned, a very, very difficult stock to trade. So just be mindful of that. Tesla is on here, up another 2.6, just continues to rip. If you like to trade Tesla, Tesla is definitely in play today. Just a monster of a stock sitting at 1.5 million shares traded, up another 2.5 today. I mean, just look at this chart. Where's the pullback coming? Wow, this thing is just incredible what Tesla's doing. All right, so that's what we have there, guys. Where's Neo? What's going on? We're missing Neo today. I know Norm doesn't want to hear about Neo, but where's Neo? See what's happening here. So Neo
This
3.2.
is
Yeah,
this is one of those that I think it's been in play for so long. People want it to be in play again today.
right.
It doesn't look like it is to me right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's seen its better days. Not that it won't trade, not that you can't trade it, find something, but as volatile as that can be and the 20 to 50 cent moves you get just from tick to tick, it's not worth it if it's not in play.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be in place. Got to be doing something, or if the market's aggressive in one direction or the other, this can follow suit on it. So you can throw it as a positive if you still like to keep an eye on Neo. It's got great volume as usual. I mean, 3.2, but we've seen this thing around this time of the morning already have 10 million shares traded. So 3.2 is not really a whole lot of volume when it comes to Neo. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at what's gapping down. NKLA we have on deck. We know this one continues to get hammered. Hopefully, it doesn't get too extended for us here. But man, this pre-market is looking really good on NKLA here. So we're definitely keeping an eye on that. Oh yeah, we have that already there. NNDM, what do we have here? Pre-market, it's got 5.3 million shares traded, but this pre-market is not looking all that clean. Their daily looks pretty crappy. What kind of stock is this? Nano Dimensions. I don't know what this is.
It's an Israeli Yes, it's something with circuit boards and tech
Hmm.
hardware. I'm not 100%. I think there's some defense stuff involved with it as well. So,
Okay.
um,
Okay.
but anyway, I'm not a fan of this. I really don't pay much attention to it. The moves it makes are kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't like this neither. I don't like the daily on it as well. So we'll stay away from that. Also, lower price stock. Usually these lower price stocks that that are foreign, that don't have a good day, don't have a great pre-market action, the chances of them trading well are very slim unless it's going to be some kind of news breakout that's going to make this thing go nuts one way or the other. So JMIA, this one's getting a nice drop this morning. Yeah, I like this one today. Great pre-market action on JMIA, so we'll throw that on there. 843 traded right now. It is down 10.3, and just look at the way this thing is trading here. So pretty good stuff happening there. Head on down, HYLN. This one's not looking good. I do not like the pre-market action. Their daily is also pretty horrible here, guys. And what we mean by that is just look at the way these candles are forming. You're not getting anything clean on this one. NVAX, NVAX. Now, this one, the spread on this thing is just brutal. And I know that because we looked at this in the past when it was very active. Today, the spread's not looking any better, 40 cents or plus, because look at all the zeros you have here, right? So you got to keep this in mind.
70-ish cents right now.
Look at
Yeah.
that. Look at that. And even after you get through all those zeros, let's say there's only 10 shares on each and one of these, you only have 100 more zeros again. So pre-market already, this is looking pretty bad. The daily chart's not telling you it's going to get any better at the market open. So this is something you just want to stay away from. You can definitely be in a bad situation. You can be in a good trade that's going to end up working out. And just because the pullback could be so aggressive because of the spread, it can be a losing trade and then end up working out later, but you're not going to be able to hold through that type of risk, right? So that's the issue with having such a bad spread and a bad trading stock like this one. DPW, again, I do not like the way this one trades. I don't think it's a clean type stock. And today with what we have, I mean, look at mRNA, look at NKLA, look at even fuel cell looks a little bit better on the daily, not great on the pre-market. ACB has a great pre-market action, nice daily. And JMIA, I mean, this list right here already looks dynamic. So you don't want to be putting anything that looks like a DPW on your list, at least not about the market open. One more KNDI. What do we have here? This one also not looking great, guys. Down 4.8, 655,000 right now. But again, this does not look better than what I have up here. So I'm not going to spend time on this one, at least not now. So I will stop here. I know we mentioned Oxy. I'm going to put Oxy as a possible. See what happens there. So we'll throw that on the list here. We do have BP here as well. We have work. What is work up to? I know they had an insane day last week. Thursday. Was Thursday? No, this would have been a Wednesday. So this could be interesting. Or it could be a good possible. There's nothing going on with it right now, guys. This is not a great pre-market action. This is really not in play. But after such a day last week and actually gapping down and recovering on Friday as well after a holiday, this is interesting. I want to see where this goes today and the rest of this week. So I'm sure we'll be looking. Work will be on our radar for this week as we see what's going to happen here as it just breaks out of this massive candle that we just had last week. So. All right, guys, let's take it to the room. Norm, besides mRNA, NKLA, anything else popped up in your radar that you like this morning?
Um, yeah, I mean, some of the stuff we've already been through, and then the room's
Hmm.
calling out some other stuff, so I won't steal their thunder. I'll let you go through
You got it.
their stuff.
Let, let's start over here. All right, Raven, good morning. That's very nice. Okay, let's look at Radic here. Let's start with XPE, XPEP right now. XPEV. I like the daily. We're coming back here. We're slamming down below in this area of support. So that could be interesting. Their pre-market's okay, not great. Again, I think these stocks like Neo, like Snow mentioned, I don't think they are in play at the moment, but they've been getting so much volume, so much attention that they're going to get some type of move. But I'm not a whole fan of the way it looks right now, right? I don't, just not sure about this one at all, to be honest. I'd rather watch Neo. I think Neo has a little more volume and a cleaner daily, slightly. So we'll put as a possible for now. Let's take a look at PLTR. It's another one that's been very active for us the last couple of days. Today they are up 2.3, 3.1 million shares traded. I like their daily here. So that looks good. Their pre-market action, though, is not great at all. They have amazing volume, but not really trading clean in the pre-market. So we'll put as a possible. We'll come back to it. POTR can have an explosive morning, even after having a really bad pre-market action. We saw that a couple of times last week, and they ended up trading very, very well. But their pre-market for those days was cleaner than this, I believe. Cleaner than this. So let's take a look at it in a second. So work got downgraded, new price $36. All right, we have work here. That'll be interesting to see how that's going to play out today. Thanks, David. INO. INO. Let's see. Did I just type Neo? I did. INO. All right, there we go. All right, INO this morning. What do we have here? So we're up 2.4, 681. Again, just a small pop. Was up higher earlier today. Pre-market's getting better. It hasn't been great, but you can tell here as the volume is coming in, it is starting to get a little bit better. Had a big day on Friday. Their daily is just again, it's not great, but I do like where they're sitting on their daily. They're above this area of resistance, slightly above that. They went all the way up to like 14. So it's interesting what they're doing today. Worth taking a look at. Might not stay in our main list this morning. We've given the stuff we have up here, the caliber of the stuff we have here. It looks great, guys. And look at me, look at JMIA continuing to test that low now. It looks like the market is open for some of these stocks, right? ACB as well. So might be a tough one to keep up here, but let's see how that's going to turn out. Again, pre-market is getting better. I can see that here with the volume coming in on INO. Let's head on down to United, one of my favorite airlines to trade. I like the pre-market on United. You're kind of getting against this area of resistance here. Their daily looks interesting as well for a possible continuation. They were red this morning, kind of sliding into the green. Yeah, I do like United for a possible. American Airlines not doing a whole lot and not with a whole lot of volume. So does United Airlines have its own catalyst today? Do we have anything happening there? I'm not sure, but you know what? Let's put it on here. Possible. United Airlines. All right. POTR, we looked at Solo. Let's take a look here.
They did get an upgrade this morning.
United.
Yep.
Yeah. It seems like they got something going on because usually, if the whole airline industry is moving, American Airlines is usually leading the way with volume. This one's got more than American Airlines with 427. So interesting there. Yeah, worth watching, guys. Good daily here. Nice pre-market.
There's the continuing news on reopening and
Yeah.
flights. Some people have started to creep into these airline names
Hmm.
as the reopening trade. I know United's also doing. I think they've been set up to do charter flights for vaccines. So
Mm,
instead of
nice.
people, they're
Yeah.
going to be carrying vaccines on board. So
Okay. So that could be good. I like their pre-market here breaking out nicely from the pre-market highs, 45, 46, 46.10. Now the new pre-market on United, that's looking very good. DKNG, let's take a look here. So DKNG also breaking out here. The last couple of 3 days have been really nice for it. Yeah, this could be a good one. Let's add it on here as we could add it on our main list for now. Really getting some a nice good pop here out of that one this morning. All right, let's do a few more, guys. We're running out of space. CAAS, low flow stock. What do we have here? CAAS, sitting at 11.4. It has a great pre-market action, though. You do have a good pre-market action on this one. This is definitely one that's looking decent. 2.5 million, up 84%. Yeah, this could be the low flow of the morning so far. This is looking nice. And again, look at this pre-market action compared to some of the other low flow stocks that we look at, where on some of these other stocks, you get a pop, right? And then it's just slowly just starts creeping down. That's not great. You want the opposite, and you're getting that here. You're getting, the bad pre-market action here, and now you're getting the volume coming in. Now you start seeing these ABCD patterns after ABCD patterns. It's usually what we try to look for on the low flow stock with volume, right? You can't be doing this here with just 150,000 shares trade. That's not going to work. You got 2.5. That's decent, and hopefully gets better as the morning continues here. All right, let's look at what else we have here. So DKNG we have on deck. That's good. A couple of upgrades there. Yeah, we got that one. NKLA, what happened? We have that there. That's good. So what else we have? All right, pretty decent here. All right, we got some pretty good stuff. GME, I have already on here. I have it as a possible. We'll keep an eye on that one. Looks decent for today. All right, take a look. A couple over at YouTube. PLTR, we do have CCL. Let's see what the cruise lines are doing here this morning. Well, CCL was red. It's popping up a little bit here, 1.6 million, up 1.4. Yeah, you can keep an eye on this. I can put as a possible, see what's going to happen today. Again, with the news of the reopening and everything else, obviously it does help out these travel companies. We're seeing some movement on this one now as well. DKNG, we have BABA. Baba took a nice hit over the last couple of days. What are they doing now? Yes, a nice hit over here, well, last week or so, and down again. So again, they did get a little area here. So we're down this morning 2.3. It's a lot of news going on with Baba, guys. I don't like to trade the stock, so I'm not going to add, especially with because I have no space. But they've been pretty good to trade the last couple of days with all the news going on that they have. So remember, guys, remember the IPO issued. They had over here, and then that created that drop. Obviously, found a nice base at 252. And after consolidation over the last couple of days, you're getting a little bit of a drop here. So interesting what's happening there. All right, let's head on down, Baba. We looked at Tesla. We do have here this again, just amazing what they're doing. Great pre-market action. SNDL, SNDL. Penny stock, guys, sitting under $1. Again, we usually normally don't look at this at all. So again, this just doesn't fall well with our trading plan and the way we trade. QS. What is QS? What do we have here? So great day on Friday. Today they're seeing some activity up 20%, 1.6 million. So looks interesting. What's the float on this?
It's not reported. I can't find the
Oh,
float on this anywhere. Just by a little
mm-hmm.
basic math calculation, it looks like there's a total of 24-ish million shares float, or
Yeah.
million shares outstanding. I
Mm-hmm.
have no idea what the float is.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's less than that. I don't know how much it is, but it's a low float. It moves like crazy. Be careful
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah. So we will be careful with this one, guys. Actually, this is a daily chart here. So again, I'm not gonna add this one on here without not having that information. But even just looking at what we do have, you could tell this stock moves quite a bit. I mean, this thing was
I
sitting
mean,
at 41 bucks.
yeah, it essentially doubled in the last 2 days.
Yeah. So just careful with that one. That could be aggressive. All right, we got time for a few more BNTX. BNTX. What do we have here? Oh yeah, this was the one that doesn't trade well, guys. I don't like the way this one trades. Just be careful if you are going to trade it. The intraday action is not clean. We saw some of that. Look at it on Friday. I mean, Friday, obviously, not the best example with the way being a holiday, half a day, all that good stuff. But still, even then, just look at the market open. It's just not as clean. There's a lot of gaps in there. So again, not a good one to intraday trade. Let's do shop, and then we'll head over to our market community announcements. Excuse me, shop. This is yeah. This one also again sitting at wow, this thing's sitting at 1,000 now. Also, not one that trades a clean, guys. I mean, the spread and everything on this, the volume, you don't get a whole lot of volume. It doesn't trade clean at all. So again, not something we'll be looking at. All right, guys, let's take a look at our market pulse. We'll come back and fine tune this list after that.
All right, guys. So quick weekly rundown. Brian is usually in the chat every day while he's been stuck at home with COVID. So usually his swing trade reviews 2:30 in the afternoon on Mondays. He's doing a little bit of that each day, but he focuses on Monday as well. And then tonight is Carlos's onboarding class, which is every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. You've got Eamon's trade reviews Tuesday, Thursday at noon. Success webinars are Tuesday night, usually at 8 p.m. They can be adjusted depending on the presenter's time zone. And psychology focuses in on Wednesday at 8 p.m. usually. Also, don't forget about the closing bell show we've got each afternoon, Monday through Thursday, that streams over on YouTube as well. All right. So speaking of success webinars, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, you've got our own John Hiltz talking about quantitatively measuring strategy success. He's going to be talking about, using your statistics to be able to determine your best and worst strategies and how to, improve upon your best and, walk away from your worst ones. Next week, Eamon's going to be talking about how he trades ABCD patterns. I've heard Eamon talk over the years in the room about how he trades certain strategies. He does a really excellent job of being able to describe what he's seeing, what he's looking for, and everything else. So I'm sure that'll be another great webinar on a strategy that a lot of people trade, especially in the early days of trading. All right, psychology series. This week, Wednesday, 8 p.m., is Dr. Kenneth Reed going to be talking about it's going to be a part of his mastermind series talking about trend following, and trend being the trader's friend, and then using psychology to stick in the trade, and everything else involved in that. Next week will be CREDA, 5 p.m. Note, like I said, special time, 5 p.m. Eastern. Because of her time zone, she's going to be talking about goal setting and how you can set effective goals that will help increase your motivation, confidence, and performance. All right, guys, if you want to participate in Member Trade of the Day, Trade of the Week, take a screenshot of your best trade, mark it up with your entries, exits, your strategy, your idea, anything you can do to describe why you took the trade, why it, and everything else involved in it. Post it on Twitter, tag at Bearable Traders, at Mike B_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also use the hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. We will pick a trade for the trade of the day each day, and then the winner from each day of the week will be voted on amongst the team over the weekend and be announced for trade of the week on Monday. That person will win a $100 Amazon gift card. If you're watching this on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, you can use the promo code PREMARKET24. That'll get you a discount off the 1-week intro trial membership. Doesn't auto-renew or turn into any other kind of membership. 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room. It also includes access to Carlos's onboarding class every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, that we spoke about a little bit earlier. Also, biggest sale of the year, Black Friday, 40% off lifetime membership. Use the promo code BlackFriday40 to take advantage of the 40% off lifetime deal for Black Friday. Good morning, Dr. Katz. How are you, sir?
Good, Norm. How are you today?
I'm great. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving and a nice few days off.
I did. Thank you. Nice, quiet with my wife and I, a little apart from our family, but we did the old family Zoom meeting. And in these times, that was very nice to have everybody together, even if remotely.
Absolutely. I know a lot of us went that direction over the holiday. It was a little bit different this year, but nevertheless, hopefully next year everything's back to normal and we can do our normal stuff, normal traditions again. So, guys, we have started doing kind of some series, a lot of times based on suggestions from the community or from our YouTube community that follows us each morning as well. And we're going to start a series over the next few weeks on overtrading. Some different subjects in it. A lot of people struggle with this. So Dr. Katz is going to start out this morning talking about really the fundamentals of it. What is overtrading? So to you, sir.
Okay, thanks, Norm. Yeah, let me just say to everybody, Norm and I and Carlos got some input from people. And so overtrading is a common area of concern that I get asked about a lot. So let me just lay out what I think we'll do over the next maybe 3 or 4 weeks on the subject of overtrading. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about basically what is overtrading. Then next week, maybe get into some of the indicators and reasons for overtrading. Then the following week, talk about some ways that people could improve overtrading regarding their overtrading tendencies. And then maybe get into the following week, a specific exercise that people can start implementing. Now, when it comes to overtrading, overtrading sounds simple, but the complexity is really, to me, in the details. And it's very different for each individual. Overtrading is a term that gets thrown around a lot, like in other areas of my work in mental health or in working with athletes or working with people who have substance abuse issues. You know, you have people throw around terms like depression. Well, depression means various things. And the complexity kind of really is in the detail. Or in sports, people say, oh, that athlete choked. Well, what does that really mean? In substance abuse, people go, oh, that person's got a drinking problem. But the devil is in the details here. So it's very individual. And overtrading gets thrown around. And I think people have different views of what really overtrading means. First of all, number one, overtrading is really placing too many trades in the market. It sounds simple, but it gets a little more complex. So let me continue. Overtrading should not be confused with active trading. That is a very important distinction that often gets fused for people. Active trading is not overtrading. Basically, overtrading occurs when the frequency and quality of your trades become counterproductive to your bottom line. It's not just a number. So let me give an example. This may help. Again, I'm using Norm, you hypothetically. This is not something Norm and I have talked about, but just for the sake of example. Maybe say normally Norm takes 5 to 7 trades a day. That's his sweet spot, 5 to 7 trades a day. And maybe one day Norm takes 3 trades. Now, one person from the outside might say, okay, well, Norm's clearly not overtrading. He took less trades today. But let's go behind the curtain, next level analysis of what happened. Let's say I spoke to Norm and Norm said, well, basically, the day or two before, he had lost a lot of money, was really very anxious, desperately wanted to make it back. And even though he took 3 trades on this day, actually, those 3 trades were all low quality offerings. They may have been the best of the low quality offerings. But those 3 trades could be an indication of Norm overtrading because he took trades that were low quality and was desperate to get into trades to make the money back. So it's not always about the number. Or let's go conversely. Let's say Norm in a particular day, again, normally he gets 5 to 7 trades, but on this particular day, we see that he made 12 to 14 trades. A warning light could go up. Oh, is Norm overtrading? Well, maybe when we go again, a little further analysis of Norm's trading that day, we see that Norm is really locked in and very focused. And that day in the markets, there were a tremendous number of opportunities. And Norm very responsibly was able to balance and be able to stay really focused on 12 to 14 high quality trades that were there. So there would be an indication that even though it could present a warning sign, Norm traded well because these were high quality trades. So really, overtrading is when you settle for subpar or low conviction setups and make irrational trading decisions. So again, overtrading and the patterns of overtrading look very different for every trader. And I see that when I have one-on-one meetings with traders and I get into the kind of the details, it really looks very different. And from the outside, something could look like overtrading and not be, and something could not look like overtrading and actually is. The key thing here is that overtrading is really psychological. Even though a lot of people feel it's not, this is what drives it. And next week, we'll kind of get into some of what these psychological indicators are and some of the psychological emotional reasons behind overtrading and what fuels the tendency for folks to overtrade in their accounts. So that's it for today, Norm.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And just to reinforce your point here, I've been around here for a long time, talked to a lot of traders, and somebody will, say you took 15 trades in a day. Oh my God, you're overtrading. Well, no, first of all, you don't know anything about my strategy. Maybe I'm a scalper. Maybe my average is 50 trades a day. Maybe it's 5. But like you said, if those were well thought out and it was a great day to trade the market and there were opportunities all day long everywhere, you could undertrade it with the 15. You could be missing trades taking the 15. I think it's like you say, it's mostly a state of mind, and the number of trades taken and such is more like a symptom as opposed to the actual underlying disease or issue there. So excellent talk. I appreciate it. And I know the members and everybody else looks forward to the month of December talking about this with you each week.
Good enough. Look forward to continuing the discussion next Monday.
Take care, Doc. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Katz. All right, guys, let's get to it. We have a pretty nice list this morning. Let's see what we have. Let's scan through it first, and then we'll fine tune what we need to keep here or not. So mRNA looks good, guys. I do like the pre-market action here. This one has a great daily. Again, so looking good this morning, definitely on our list. NKLA continues to drop here, making a new low now here in the pre-market. Just look at the move. I mean, just incredible. So you got positive news, as Norm mentioned earlier in the market pulse. This thing did well, and then confirmation comes back. No, that's not the case. And just look at the drop. It actually starts to trade lower than what it was sitting here all pre-market, and now has given back some gains over the last couple of days. I mean, this thing is taking a real nice hit here. So definitely on our list, a fuel cell here. This one. Pre-market is still not getting any better. Their daily looks good though for a possible breakout. I do like what we're seeing here on this consolidation. Well, not consolidation, more of a kind of like an ABCD pattern wedging up against this area of resistance here. So that looks good. ACB is good. Great pre-market action, decent daily. JMIA also had a nice big drop, recovering now towards the VWAP. That's a good one too. INO, INO starting to get very active. Lost this area of support here. This was the high from Friday. So it has lost that, lost the previous day close. This is also very active. So that's nice. And DKNG, beautiful breakout here on this level of 53.44. So that's looking good as well. All right, I really think we have a really good list here. I don't think we have to look much into our secondary list, but just for the fun of it, let's make sure we're good there. United's a good possible. PLTR starting to move nicely here. This could be moving into our main list. XPEV, so. I'm gonna get rid of it. For now. GME also I'm going to get rid of. I don't see anything great. Again, this stock can be a problem to trade sometime. It is not as clean. Here is CGC. This one, I'll keep an eye on that one. Plug is starting to make his move up here, so I'll keep an eye on that one. Tesla is good. Tesla is great, guys. So if you do like trading this one, this thing is at 604. It's just unbelievable. If you like to trade this one, definitely in play. Keep an eye on it. I am going to remove it from my list because I know I'm not going to trade it, but that is definitely in play today. Here is Oxy. Oxy's still not looking any better than what we left off at, so I'm going to remove it for now. We can always come back to it if we hit the scanners or something like that. Work looks great. I want to keep an eye on this one. Looks great as far as this pop here. I want to see where this is going to go during this week. We're giving some back now, down 2.8 after this crazy volume that came in on this was Wednesday, I believe. Yeah, Wednesday. On Friday, gap down. It did recover a little bit, and today we're just kind of hanging in here to see what's going to happen next. And CCL is a good one also. So we got a pretty decent possible list as well. All right, let's get to some levels. Here we are. Let's start with mRNA. High of the pre-market right now, sitting over at 145 on the dot. Your low of your pre-market all the way down to 133.10. So we'll throw a level on there. But in between here, guys, it's a big gap, obviously. Above more than $10 there. We do have some areas here that you want to mark down. So this one here, 142.24. You saw a lot of resistance here coming out around 7 o'clock in the morning. Again, more resistance before you had this beautiful breakout here. And now you're seeing somewhat of support, at least in the last 5 minutes. So that 142, let's see what it does there. That could be an area we're going to have a lot of touch points throughout the day. Even if we lose this down, gets to the V up, you might come back up and touch that 142. So we'll keep an eye on it there. Let's see if it's going to bounce from there or not. But I think it's a good area. You have a lot of touches there as well. Another one here is 140.40. So right here, you also have great support. This is basically a consolidation point right on here. So if you see this, again, it's bouncing back and forth here into one side one. You had this drop here. There's probably a lot of transactions being recorded there. But finally, the top side one here, you can see the breakout. And now it's doing another consolidation between these two levels. So we'll see which is going to win out of both of those. But for the most part, you want to have that 140.40 as well on your list. And then all the way down here, 138. It's also a good one on your 5 minute. Again, you don't have anything else around here. So these three levels are going to help you out in case this thing is going to trend one way or the other. So that's mRNA, guys, looking pretty good right now. They have positive news on everything going on with reopening and their vaccines. NKLA this morning continues to drop. High of their pre-market. Let's start with the top side, 39.30. So this thing went all the way up there. You had another level right slightly below that, 37.95, excuse me. In between here, you have the highs and lows from the last two trading days all in here as well. You did run right through some levels here. Great area of support at 25.13. You can see that did not help much there. And now your new pre-market lows all the way at the bottom here at 21.55. Now, at 21.55, you are seeing an area of resistance and support. This line right on here is showing you both of that, right? You got the resistance happening here. You have support happening here. And here you kind of have both. A little bit of resistance, a little bit of support, and more resistance as well. And we're seeing support happening here right now as well. So let's see how that's going to play out. If it's going to hold here or break down from that. But again, this one definitely in play. We do have shares for short right now. It is on short selling restriction, so you got to get filled on an uptick if you're going to take this one short, but it is tradable towards the downside. Another level towards the bottom that looks good here as well is 1961. So if we were to lose this low of the pre-market, 1961 is the next level where we're seeing some major support and resistance as well. So I'm going to mark that on there to keep on our list. And if we were to drop even below that, which again is possible today because this thing's already on a tear, we'll see 1782 is another level, great area of support as you're seeing here. Look at the double bottom on the daily off of that 1782 there. So, all right, NKLA is good. Fuel cell still not doing anything great. I think there was another one that looked better in our preparation here in our secondary list. PLTR, yes. So let's remove fuel cell. It's not looking great. Let's bring it down. And we'll bring up PLTR. It's becoming a little bit more active. We had some pretty good trades last week. I know Brian traded this last week pre-market as well. If you guys remember that, that was a really good trade. That continued right to the market open. Went right to the market open and just kept popping up. So that was nice. So PLTR, I'm going to add on here, guys. Very active right now. Looking better than a fuel cell that we had before. So going back up here, actually just finished PLTR since I have it up. Right now, you're stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days, right? So look at your highs and lows right now. They're actually your pre-market highs and low for today are hitting highs and lows from the daily, right? So you're pretty good there as far as levels. And outside of that range, I mean, the next one towards the downside is going to be 2061. So I think you're pretty much set here as of now as far as levels. ACB, did we look at that one? No. So ACB, high of our pre-market sitting at 1155. That's a good one there. Above that, we do have 1217, and then all the way up here 1447 if we're going to get the the legs to get up there. But for right now, towards the bottom, we do have the low of the high from the last trading day, which is Friday, the previous day close, and then your low of your pre-market is all the way down here at a 1016. But again, this previous day close is where you're going to be putting a lot of weight on, as well as the high from Friday on there. So that's pretty good there. Let's head down to JMIA. This one, again, getting a little bit of a bounce. Low of the pre-market, 32.94. Towards the top, you have the highs and lows for the last two trading days. The previous day close. The only thing you need to add on here is the pre-market high at 38.07. I think aside from that, you don't need to add anything else, really. I think you pretty much cover on JMIA. Again, great volume right now, 1.4, down 7.5. So interesting action here for them this morning. Here's INO. So INO is dropping nicely, going from red to green. High of our pre-market sitting at 1408. Towards the bottom, you do have something right on here at 1295. It's a good area of resistance. A lot of confirmation on this area of resistance. Go back to October. Early October, you can see how much resistance we had there as well. So that one's got a lot of touches on there. Now, towards the bottom right now, pre-market is finding a little bit of support on the low of the day, sitting at 1182 right on there. Then below that, you do have another great area of support, of resistance that can now be support at 1145. So if you look at 1145, you can see how much resistance you have on this line here. A lot of days touching on that. The most three recent days over 17, 18, and 19. Really touching that out, 20, excuse me, 20, really doing a lot of resistance on there. So that's a good one to have as well. So INO looking very active. Was green this morning, 1 million shares traded. Now it's going into the red side for the moment. DKNG had a great breakout here. I'm going to mark this down because I think this is a good pop here over at 53.47. Great breakout there. Now your high of your pre-market sitting at 53.90, and it's having a very hard time getting above that. You can see it hit that a couple of times here, cannot seem to get through it. So we'll see what it does. But again, for the most part, it does have a beautiful breakout here potential. We are up 2% on this one with some pretty good volume, and their daily does look really, really good as well. Now towards the bottom, you do have your highs from the last trading day, the previous day close, and then you go right into your low of your pre-market, which is going to be 52 to be exact. So 52 is your low of your pre-market. You can mark that there in case this thing does decide to drop today. And then above the pre-market highs, if we were to break out of that, we do have another potential level right on here at a 54.97. It's a good one. All right, so PLTR we were looking at earlier, so we're all set here as far as levels, getting a little bit of a bounce here right to the previous day close. Let's see if it's going to hold that there at the moment. So we'll see what action we're going to get at PLTR. All right, let's review our secondary real quick. Fuel cells looking all right. United's looking good. United can actually be one of the top lists here. That one looks good. CGC, It's okay, not great. Plug is starting to move here. That one's looking nice. You can add it to your list also. Neo right now, again, nothing overly exciting. Just great volume, but just moving sideways. Work. Okay, what happened to work here? Something's breaking out on work. So I'm gonna just move this up and keep a close eye on it. Too early to tell what's going on, but definitely some news is happening here on work. You're getting some insane volume just now. So 1.5, nice pop here. Somebody dropping some really big orders on work this morning. So interesting. Gonna
Yeah,
keep an eye on
but
that.
this one, it was rumored, we spoke about it last week, that they were in advanced talks to be
Right.
acquired by Salesforce. Supposedly that deal is done and the details are supposed to be announced tomorrow afternoon after the close.
Wow. Yeah. So this is looking really good. Just look at the breakout here, guys. Again, after an insane pop on this was Wednesday, Friday they recovered a little bit. Today you've seen that action. So I'm going to add it on here as well. There is something that's sometimes too much volume and it could be very choppy. So just be careful. If you're getting volume and it's moving, but you're not getting a good read on the price action, it still might not be a good trade, right? To take. So keep that in mind. So all right, let's look at our moderators, see what we have today. I know I still have a lot on my list. I'm going to continue to fine tune it when Brian and Andrew come on. But for now, let's take a look at our moderators list this morning. Let's get the visual in here. All right, here we go. So what do we have here? All right, let's start with up here. So IPOs, we have a JQ opening up today. So Peter will announce when that happens. Eamon is looking at BABA, CIIC, CCL, secondary list Riot, FCEL, Fuel Cell, and BNTX. Jared likes Tesla, mRNA, GameStop, NPLTR, secondary list NKLA, and also the MJ sector there. I was watching obviously the Qs, and Jared keeps an eye on that as well. Spice at all-time highs, possibility for breakout, so he'll keep a look out for that. John is looking at his breakout top list as usual, and Tesla and Zoom are on top of his list today. Again, we saw Tesla. It's just incredible what they're doing over the last couple of days. Brian likes PLTR, DKNG, Mara, GameStop, and also Work. Tiffany likes Tesla, mRNA, NKLA at the moment, and Mike is on the road watching this morning. Nice, Mike. Thank you for watching. All right, guys, that's what we have. My list is still too big. I'm gonna continue to fine tune it as we continue in the room because we're running a little bit out of time here. 9:22 a.m. Brian's gonna come on now and work on his list and what he likes to watch this morning, and take us through the open with Andrew as well. So take care, guys. Trade safe over on YouTube. We will see you tonight if you're signing up for the onboarding class. We will see you at 8 p.m. So make sure you do that if you have not done so already. 8 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have a lot of fun, kind of get to know what we're all about, the community, and answer any questions you might have. So come prepared with questions. Me and Mike have a nice Q&A towards the end, and we'll answer any questions you might have. Here's Andrew's list. Let's see what he's watching. So he likes this morning QS, APXT.
QS.
Why is he watching a QS? Gotta be
I don't
careful with
know,
that
but
one.
I'm gonna watch him trade. That's for sure.
Yeah, it will be fun. And the only reason we're saying that is because we know how Andrew trades. We know the stocks that he's good at and what he likes to watch. And QS, it's not really one of those. So maybe we could convince him not to touch that one. mRNA twice, and GameStop and Fuel Cell is what Andrew likes this morning. Guys, take care. Trade safe over on YouTube. And we'll see you tonight for the onboarding class at 8 p.m. Do not forget, sign up for the DAS 14-day trial as well so you can follow us through this week. Pre-market 24 gives you a discount for our trial for 7 days. So take care, trade safe. We'll see you next time.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.